but still, that was our culture. We have forgotten our black god. I'm your girl, Shekinah. What's up YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl Shekinah. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to smash that subscription button and the notification bell. Guys, don't forget the notification bell because I post 2 videos every single week and you do not want to miss out. You don't want to miss out, so let's get started. The last time that I posted a video, right, about Feli and Nikki, there was a guy that came on my comment section. I don't know if it's a guy or a lady, but hopefully I got the gender properly, and the guy came in the comment and then he put his opinion on the comment section. So that's exactly what brought me right back here. Let's talk about it. Okay, today we're going to talk about culture, Congolese culture. Should we pass Congolese culture to the next generation? Does Congolese even still have a culture? Let's start with it. And before we start this thing, let's define what is culture exactly. So I'm going to take my phone and go through Google and actually find out what Google thinks a culture is. The first definition that I got of culture is say it's an idea, a custom, a social behavior of a particular people or society. And then the second definition that I got of culture, it says it's an umbrella that encompasses of social behavior or norm found in a human society, as well as knowledge, belief, art, law, culture, capability, and a habit of an individual in this group, right? When we define culture, the first thing that actually rings a bell to me is art, right? Let me give you an example. You come to my house and then you see I have all this African art in my house, like as we can say to Lingala, tolobangobie bikeko, okay? What will be your impression of me? Will you think this girl maybe Azana Bakisi, or does this girl uses African muti to actually go through her stuff, or this girl does not believe in Jesus Christ or anything like that? But we're forgetting that that is exactly what culture is, right? That is exactly culture. But when you come to my place, you probably associate me with something else. But when I speak about music and then I say that the Congolese music of our days does not represent what the Congolese culture is all about, because when I look at music properly, the only thing that I see into the music, it's just Lingala. Apart from the Lingala, like guys, anyone comment down below, like if you guys go with me in this thing, apart from Lingala, what else does the Congolese music teaches us? Does Congolese music really represent our culture? Do we really portray our culture out there? Like when I have to go on YouTube and then I put on a Congolese latest song, and does that tell me much about Congolese? Or does that tell me how Congolese people behave in a particular way, or how Congolese people believes in a certain thing? Does that tell me that? No, the music of today has been modernized. It has been changed from the music that we knew before, because what used to represent our old music is ma bele elisi, right? When they used to sing, right, even the way they used to dress up, even the way they used to have this raffia thing happening, that was our culture. That was what represented the Congolese culture. That was what people would watch on TV and it would tell them this is Congolese culture. Let's give an example. Come to South Africa and listen to South African music. Even if a South African music is not saying about their culture, but you could just see on the specific way that they wear or dressed up, right? It just tells you much more about South African culture. Or Nigerian, for instance. Like, even if a Nigerian person will be singing about love, as we say, okay, music nabiso doesn't do things to do with sex. Sex is all about love. Yes, I understand. Love. But does it even portray our culture? Because when a Nigerian person sings, at the back of your mind, you know, okay, this is an Igbo, or this person is probably in Yoruba, or like it will tell you something about the Nigerian culture. And that's one thing that Congolese people are lacking. Can you sing? And then I'll be like, okay, this person, this music of a Congolese person can tell you something about Baluba people or anything like that. We used to have that before, yes, like the Mama Chalamonas and stuff. They used to portray our music. If we're talking about music, I'll actually talk about Mama Chalamona and Biabel. They used to portray us. The women, the ladies, ladies, even if they used to sing about love like everyone else, but the way Maputa, which used to make them look more like African and stuff, that was Congolese culture that was exposed to everyone. I'm not against singing about love. And also the other thing is, you tell me that Greg sings about sex and sex and sex, but do Congolese people sing about women's only, or they also sing about other women's body parts? Come on guys, come on, like seriously, something that is bad is bad. There's no such thing as like this is a major bad, or this thing is a like mabe makasi, or is a moi mabe a pete biso tozana na bongo te biso tozo comme sa biloko bongo te. What is bad is bad. The music of these days only sings about a woman or a woman specific part, or just look at the way that dancers have been portrayed on TV, almost halfly dressed. There's nothing about our culture that shows you about that. It doesn't. And the other thing, when we talk about culture, right, you say that the music of Congo and the theaters of Congos are the way that we're teaching our culture to our kids, and that you're just trying to blame the music and the Congolese and the theatre for nothing. You should be blaming the parents and their way of doing things in their houses. It has nothing to do with the music. We are just trying to pass on our culture. Okay, let's think about the theatre, the old theatres, the way it used to be made. Like they used to have this ballet thing happening, the drum happening, and things that used to portray Congolese. Right, it used to portray us like as a culture. We used to be portrayed through the theatre, even the way but theatre ya tangwa kala eba zo salango na stage, the way we used to see it, like even the way the mothers used to dress up, or even the way the fathers used to dress up, even this theatre that used to be done in the village. We see it with other culture, like Nigerians people do it. Even if today Nigerians do act movies, right? They act movies that portray the city life, and they also act movies that portray their culture. It has been out there. Even if but still, that was our culture. We have forgotten our black gods. We have forgotten our black gods. Like Pastor how do you call him? That God who died for Congolese. That man who died for Congolese. What is his name again?
5 hours later.
Simo Kimbangu, right? Simo Kimbangu who died for Congolese. But wasn't that a god? Like, wasn't that what we had as a god? Or wasn't Simo Kimbangu a prophet? Wasn't him a prophet that we had been introduced in the Congolese culture? Why did we associate him with witchcraft? Or why did we associate him with something that has to do with bad? Why? But therefore, we have associated everything that has to do with Congolese culture. We put it with witchcraft. We put it with like things that has to do with dark things, and then we take what the world brought into the country. We take what the world has brought into us, and we have accepted it, and we call it good, and we call it modernized, and we call it, or we pray, or everything these days is all about churches, pastors, and we call what our forefathers used to believe in. We call what our forefathers used to believe in. We call it witchcraft. We call it bad, right? We call it bad. Let me give you another example. Right, this is culture that I'm saying that we're not passing on to the kids, because if you want to teach Congolese culture to the next generation, there are so many ways to teach Congolese culture to the next generation. It does not have to do with music. It does not have to do with the theatre, because to me personally, I am trying to say that apart from Lingala, the theatres and the music of Congo does not portray our culture at all. It does not portray our culture at all. Yes, we used to have people that used to portray our culture in the past, but the latest music that is happening right now, I would rather put it in the same group with the same graph that you're talking about, with the same Cardi B that you're talking about. I'd rather put it in the same group. I would not say that they are rather, or we are rather safe in our community. It's still not safe. Okay. The next thing, let's talk about when we're having our cultural wedding, right? Congolese culture. We are trying to pass on the Congolese culture. The next thing that we have to talk about right now is the Congolese traditional wedding. What happens in our traditional wedding? We have bought Frère Patrice inside. We have bought Moïse Mbie na libala traditionnel. We have bought Rosina libala traditionnel. But long time ago, when we used to have our traditional wedding, it was more of traditional way of doing things. We had drama happening. We used to sing songs in our home languages, right? If you were Mongo, you would sing a song like Mongo. If you were Muluba, you would sing song like Chiluba, and that's how we used to do our traditional wedding, and that's what represented us. That's what we called traditional wedding, right? Like rather these days, you will go to traditional wedding, and the only thing you'll be hearing will be like a gospel song. Like, I don't have a problem with the gospel song. I keep saying it. I don't have a problem with the gospel song. I feel like if a gospel song needs to be played, probably it should be played in a white wedding, not in a traditional wedding. And then the other thing that I also feel like, okay, with the traditional wedding is some people have even lost the way of dressing up in a traditional wedding. They are no longer dressing up like a proper traditional wedded woman, right? Let's go back to South Africa, because I'm only going to compare it to South Africa because I grew up here in South Africa. When South Africans are having a traditional wedding, there's this song that they always sing. I might not say it properly because I don't speak the language properly, but I'll try it for you. Can any of our kids even sing any song in our home culture? Can any of our kids even sing any song in Chiluba, in Kikongo? Can any of our kids even sing that? We are talking about wanting to pass the culture to the next generation. What are we even passing to the next generation? Let's go back again. We're going to talk about this culture and how I am thinking like, okay, we're just trying to look for excuses, but that's not the way we're passing the culture to the next generation. Yes, talking Napoto. Nazongeli susu Napoto. Bana poto balobaka soki omoni mwana poto azoloba lingala ebele, you guys will be like mwana ngope na poto mbeba mangala ebele lokola soki mwana kin soki mwana nini. Okay, isn't that what you guys say? Isn't it? We forgot that we're passing on our culture. Oh, the child will be treated in a specific way or compared in a specific way because that child speaks lingala fluently like the one from Kinshasa. Right? Oh, isn't that passing our culture? We have forgotten that that is how we were passing our culture, right? Yes. Kaka na poto. Na na poto te. Kaka na poto. If ba poto opesi mama lambi biloko na poto, right? She'll be cooking pondu, maybe maybe fumbwa, maybe ngai, maybe Mbisamai or anything like that. She'll be cooking it for the husband. You'll be like, oh, this thing is for the husband. Pona bana na saleli bango mwa chips with chicken, with mayonnaise on the side, with tomato sauce. Isn't that not passing our culture? Because if you saying, oh, bana poto kubanyana bango kolia biloka kongote, isn't that not passing our culture? Isn't Congolese food not our culture? Isn't that what defines us as Congolese? Because if you are saying that the kids do not like to actually eat pondu or anything like that because bazaba na poto, but yes, you are trying to tell me, yao, sokinga na lobike, music waneza na ngona ezo passe culture na bisote, then I become a bad person or I'm talking something else. But yes, that kid should also be able to eat our traditional food because that is our culture that we're passing on to the next generation. So the only way we can pass our culture in the next generation is by allowing all the songs to be playing in the house every day. Is that the only way we're passing on culture, or is culture only has to do with that music? Because to me, when we read it on Google here, it told us that for us to pass a culture on, it has to do with our custom, our art, our belief system, our way of doing things, right? Isn't that not being passed on to our kids? But yet we can defend all this music industry, we can defend all this theater people that are not even passing on our cultures anymore. Rather, they've also modernized every single thing on our screens, and there's no difference between me watching Netflix with my kids and actually watching theater with my kids, because at the end of the day, watching theater with my kids, the only thing I'm teaching them is Lingala, and you can teach your kids Lingala through so many ways. They don't even have to wash the other. You can just teach them, hey, mwana mbote, hey, mwana pakula bamote. So not very often they will probably hear it, right? It doesn't have to do through you playing theaters every day or something like that for you to tell me that. Okay, I just think that is a total excuse. That is an excuse, and it's an excuse, and I'm not gonna take it. I'm not going to take it. We're going back again. We're still there. When it comes to marriages, Napoto, right? You guys are saying all this thing of 50-50. Is that our culture? Is that our culture? Let's talk about 50-50. Is that our culture? Is that what brought us up? Yes, I understand. You will say that, oh no, if our women can work, so they also need to help us at home. They need to help out at home. I do not have a problem with any woman helping out at home. But what I'm saying is the man is always the head of the family, no matter what. Even if the wife is working, the man is always the head of the family. If the wife needs to help, at least she puts on 30%, not 50-50. I disagree completely with 50-50, and I feel like passing on the 50-50 thing does not portray our culture. It does not bring out our culture to the next generation, because the next generation that will come will get on couples that go on 50-50, and that is not teaching our kids our culture. Not at all. It's not at all, right? Yes, right? I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I am not against the culture. Culture is beautiful. I am Congolese. I am super proud of being Congolese. I am very, very proud of being Congolese. And I'll walk around and I'll tell everyone else that I'm Congolese. But the only thing that I am saying is, when it comes to Congolese, we pick what we call culture, and what we call culture for real, we do not do it. Because yes, we were told that culture is Akindoki, right? That's what we were told. Culture is Akindoki. What are you going to tell me? Isn't what you're going to tell me? Isn't that what you're going to tell me? Oh, na Congo kuna bakindoke bele ba lela ngamwana pour rien na kita Congo Yes, you want to tell me that, exactly that. But yes, bringing your child to Congo, it's also a way of teaching your child culture. Why is it that you guys Napoto Kuna, you always go back to Congo by yourself? The woman goes back alone, the husband goes back alone, or the parent goes back and leave their kids. We're going to have kids that grew up in Europe or in America for a very long time, 20 years or 20 something years in America, and they want to tell me I've never been in Kinshasa, I have never been there, I was born in Congo, or I was brought in Europe or in America at a certain age and I've never went back to visit. Why is that? Give us a reason. Give us a reason, because like some of you guys wazana mikanda. Give us a reason why your kids do not go back and visit up their culture. Why not? Why? What I am just trying to say is a kid will learn a specific thing by herself as she grows older. Because I'm saying that you cannot prevent your kids from learning Congolese music. You cannot prevent your kids from watching Congolese theaters. You cannot prevent your kids from knowing anything that has to do with Congolese. But at the right time, they will know it by themselves. We got kids whereby maybe their parents don't even play all those Congolese songs or whatever latest songs in the TV, but the kid will still have like a little bit of a song playing on her phone, because what, she goes to school, she got friends that listen to that and stuff. Yes, there is no way that you're going to stop your kids from listening or watching a little bit of Congolese stuff. And I'm not trying to tell anyone to stop or passing anything to the kids, but I'm just saying is, if we need to pass the Congolese culture to the next generation, we should make sure that we're passing the right culture to the next generation, and not only passing what is happening right now. For me, it is not a culture. For me, it is not a culture, because if a white person needs to come back to Congo and check our culture, that is not exactly what he's gonna call culture. Why is it that in Congo we don't have Heritage Day? We come here in South Africa, there's Heritage Day where everyone wears Zulu clothes, Xhosa clothes, Pedi clothes, any clothes. They wear that. They're celebrating their culture in full happiness. But why don't we also have like a cultural day in Congo where na and walk around with it and be felt comfortable? Why? If I have to walk in the streets now wearing raffia or wearing so traditional, you all will give me names and will say like, eh, na 2021 vraiment mona zolata bo oh ninyango ma tradition beza vraiment kindoki. Or like ebiloka bo vraiment eza biloka bakala il faut akoma moderniser. That's what you're gonna tell me, right? Right? So we picking culture. We know that our culture say the custom long time ago. It used to say this thing. If the brother dies, the younger brother takes the wife. That's what it used to say, right? And then we were told that was kindoki, and then everything has changed, everything has been modernized, the culture is getting amplified in a certain way, that there are certain things that we used to do back in the days that we do not do it anymore. And I'm not saying that a culture is a way that it's not a church where you go there and say you're a man. It's only in the church. Even at church, when the pastor is speaking nonsense, we can also say, hey, pastor vraiment block alobaki lelo nanzimi nanganyo so. So with also the culture, I don't think a culture is a way that you should come to the culture and say amen to everything that the culture tells you. If the culture is bad, you say no to it. When the culture is good, then you say yes to it. If I will not get married to my husband's younger brother, or if I will not go to a funeral and wash my hand in when even it's dark, I'm still washing my hand in it. If we're calling that witchcraft, if we're calling that kindoki, and if I also come on YouTube and I also say that the latest music or the trending music of these days or the trending theaters or dramas of this day are not portraying our culture, and also no one should make me feel bad about it, because this is a culture and we can choose what will work for you and you choose what does not work for you, and you choose what to pass to the next generation. If really we need to pass the culture of Congolese to the next generation, then we need to define exactly what is the Congolese culture. Are we passing on the right culture? Is the musicians that are singing these songs these days, teaching it to our kids, is that really passing what Congolese culture is all about? No, no, no. I want to hear your comment on the comment section. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me if I'm wrong. I want to hear what you say. Tell me your opinion. Don't forget to give it a thumb up. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, I love you and I'll see you. Bye-bye.